So part 2 is just reviewing adding and subtracting of terms. So here's my first real example right here. It's going to be in the first set of parentheses, 14 minus I to the 12th power. And then we're going to subtract, so minus 10 minus 3I to the 5th power. Okay, and then please remember your order of operations. We would simplify roots if we had any. We don't have any. The next step is to simplify any i's to an exponent. So let's look at this I right here. That is I to the 12th power. What do we always divide by? Yeah, y'all just 4 go into 12 evenly. Yeah, we don't have a remainder. So what is the answer when we don't have a remainder?
It's 1.
Well, it's a 1. So I to the 12th is just 1. So I'm going to recopy this with the simplified version. All right, now let's talk about I to the 5th. So again, we divide by 4. Would we have a remainder here?
Yes.
Yeah, how many is left over?
1.
So what's a remainder of 1?
I.
Just an I, good. So I'm going to recopy the minus, recopy the parentheses there, and this time, remember, it's just times I. 3 to the 5th just simplifies to I. Okay, so 14 minus 1, of course, is 13. I'm going to go ahead and simplify that, and then don't forget we're going to distribute, y'all. So this is minus 10, and then plus 3I. So this is going to turn into a real part of 3, and then just bring down your imaginary part of 3I. And that's it. That's the review for the first one. I do want to do one more review with y'all, though. So my last review for you is going to look like this. Example 2. Find x and y. Okay, so this is actually an equation, guys. So in the first set of parentheses, you have x plus yi minus 10 plus 3i, and that equals 16 plus 4i. Don't freak out because of all these letters in this problem. It's very simple. You won't even need a calculator for this, as long as you remember that you cannot combine real and imaginary. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to split this problem up. I'm going to have some real work over here on my left side, and then I'm going to have some imaginary work over here on my right side. Since real and imaginary cannot be combined, then I know this x and this 10 worked together to make that 16 somehow. And then I also know that since this has an I next to it, I know that's imaginary. I know it has something to do with that positive 3i to make that final answer of a 4i. So all of that goes together. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on with the real part. So this x right here has something to do with that 10. And if you notice, there's a negative on the outside. So this was distributed. So this x minus this 10 had a final answer of what? 16. So x minus 10 made 16. What's x?
26.
Exactly. See? You don't need a calculator. Box that in. Now let's focus on the imaginary. So yi. Now remember, you got to distribute the negative, so I'm not going to write plus 3i. I'm going to write minus 3i. And what did that give us a final answer of? Exactly. So what minus 3 is 4? Good. So yi equals 7i, but we just want to know what y is. Just 7, that's right. Remember, the instructions were just define x and y. Plain y is just 7.